Alright, welcome back to more of Islands of Zelda. And we should have pretty much everything now, as finally can start moving on. So to find the ruins, you can just use your lens. Eventually you'd find this spot right here, and you'd use a super bomb on to open this up. Okay. Again, you could come here pretty early, but you'd be blocked right here. So you have to actually complete Spectacle Rock to get to that switch. Alright, so now that we've opened that path, we can actually move on into this place. And yeah, not surprising to find lots of snakes here. Pretty much more money in case you didn't have enough of it. I mean, I'm like maxed out on everything. Kind of an interesting color for this one. It uses purple. That's why you see the purple Batrook keys there. There really isn't that much in this place, so it's actually pretty linear. This is all just for decoration. And I don't think you need the magic key either. You're given enough regular keys to get by. Yeah, I'm gonna get quite a bit of money in here just because there's so many snakes. Not that I need any money. Yeah, an odd color, super dark, not purple. This place has a few floors, but luckily none of these floors are that large to explore. I mean, overall, it's not that tricky a place to go through. It's just there's one particular point that will take a while. I mean, honestly, the difficulty of this place really depends on how much, how well equipped you are. So the more supplies you can bring along, the better. And you can see not too many rooms on this floor. I mean, if you just come by this area without really picking up that many upgrades, yeah, this place could be really tricky. Because you may not have enough hearts, or especially bombs, that would probably become an issue for you. And don't have to worry about getting hit by a red bubble. Oh, that's a item bubble. Oh, that was a sword bubble. Now, luckily, it's not really a big issue because there's always any room that has a red bubble is gonna have a blue bubble in the same room. So. Nice little trap here. Pretty much open up a Toho room. Regular Gomas. Yeah, I might as well just throw out gold arrows. I mean, I'm getting so much money here. Getting them like whatever 1-2 rupees I'm wasting here. Get rid of your protection. Now you don't have a shield anymore. I mean, I could be just cheap in half these rooms, just use Nehru's Love, but we'll save that for later. know, extra money we're just gonna leave there. No need for it. Got all the fucking Ventus. Got my heart back. Alright, so it's not that tricky so far. Oh, when you go in here, though, yeah, be prepared for a fairly long battle. I'm gonna fight the giant snake, and the difficulty of this battle is really gonna depend on how much equipment you bring in with you. So it actually starts pretty easy at first. You have to slash the tongue. And when you don't see the tongue, you gotta take out all the enemies first. Kind of make it change its phase. I'm starting to notice more statue shooters. It's more of an annoyance now. And this is where you want to really bring a lot of extra bombs with you. So if you only have your standard 16 bombs, this could be a real challenge. Get those extra bombs first. Again, when you see the tongue, you don't have to defeat all the enemies, you just go straight for the tongue. I'm not sure what the traps are there for. Again, this takes a while to go through because there are a lot of phases in this battle. Get rid of as much crap as you can. Now it gets a little trickier here because you don't have as many real good spots to stand. You're being pretty much bombarded from every angle with fireballs. Eventually it starts getting a little bit nastier, I guess. And the more stuff you bring in, the better. Especially if you can, you know, bring in your spells. Neighbor's Love already really give you a big buffer to work with. But that's only for the later phases. I mean, right now it's not too tricky. Not sure how those traps behave. They don't seem to go left or right. Knowing having all the statue shooters there, you can see just how little opening you have to attack. Okay, now this gets a little uglier. Now, if you have just a, you know, again, red ring and magic sword, it's gonna get a little tricky. And then you're not gonna have these spells. And, you know, just for kicks, I might as well just toss some of this stuff out. I mean, got plenty of magic to use. Pretty much gonna get a lot of it back anyway. Look at this, you got like, no room to really attack enemies in there. Here's a bunch of bombs there for whatever reason. Here's a good chance for magic refills. So again, you can spam your neighbor's love there. And then, you know, the bats aren't really an issue because you liquidate most of them with just Dim's fire. So I can just keep recharging this. Now they've lost, can't recharge any more bats now. I'm pretty much going to get most of my magic back anyway. Break even on magic, see, so again, may as well just spam all your spells here. As this gets really hard to find an opening to attack the dongos because you got traps running around the place and see how many fireballs are coming at you every which way. There's pretty much no safe spot here. People would be bombarded from like 3 or 4 directions. I mean, you cannot block all this. Okay, it gets a little trickier on this phase. Oh, this is probably a chance for refills for you, actually. I'm gonna take advantage of the super dark nuts. Pretty much going to get health back. Oh, got all my bombs back. Alright, this phase gets a little interesting. You got mirror robes. And again, if you want to use your neighbor's log just for fun, you know, go right ahead. Plenty of magic to use. I'll tell you right now, this used to be far harder than this. There used to, remember that other point that you had all these statue shooters firing at you? Whatever, just toss more magic out. Don't really care at this point. Again, you used to have like, I think the previous phase had like 8 to 10 statue shooters. Like every corner, you're getting bombarded with fireballs. You can get away with it on other enemies, but not these enemies because you have to deflect shots on them. And if you're getting bombarded with fireballs, you can't do anything. And that would basically almost mandate you having the gold ring just to survive. But that's not the point of this. It should be like, gold ring is optional. And in this last phase, just get rid of all the snakes here. picking up extra money I don't really need. Oh man. Yeah, this takes a while to get through. A little messier than I hoped for, so... And extra fairy that I don't really need. And, yeah, there's still more to go through, but luckily the main part of it's done. Hey, got my magic back. That's just a really drawn-out battle. That's probably what makes it so difficult. Again, the more equipment you have, the better. Again, before, you imagine having, I think the old versions of this had, those 4 mirror robes. You had 8 to 10 statue shooters, like pretty much 2 or 3 on every corner, and that's really what you don't want to put in a room. Again, if you only have a red ring, you're probably not surviving that battle unless you spam Nehru's love to no end. That's if you even have that. Now, pretty much mirror robes in general should be fought in a relatively open room for that reason. If you can damage you with other weapons, it's a different story. It's a moot point then, because damage it like a regular enemy. I'll just leave that extra money there. Not that I need it. Alright, here is a nice little shortcut. And this guy just sells potions I don't need. I mean, if you're fully equipped, you pretty much should never need a potion because you can always... Well, the gold ring enough is good enough, and then you got Nehru's love for a buffer. Alright, this is actually, you can think of it as the back exit of the ruins. And I try and think, I might actually step out and then step back in. Alright, so finished with the ancient ruins. This is just mainly a transition point to get to an area we couldn't get to otherwise. So next part we'll do some more exploration of this area. Alright, see you guys later.